How do you generally look at effectiveness of brand strategy, and how do you recommend that it be measured?
The number of times I'm asked that in a day.
Right.
Yeah. Brands are meant to be felt. There is tangible and intangible elements of that, and definitely data and metrics that support that it's resonating with your target audience. Some of the ones, so obviously we had some hard metrics like the stock being up and attracting certain audiences. The coverage that we were getting had moved completely upstream to a more C-suite and business level. But some of the other metrics is things like message pull-through. That was something that was important to us because we wanted this brand to be synonymous with a number of keywords and trends that were happening at this time. So if we were doing their messaging and positioning workshop, let's say today, we would want to talk about sustainability. We'd want to talk about net zero. We'd want to talk about AI, right? We'd want to have some of those topics where we know that they play, but is the topic of the conversation today. And also mapping it back to the value that they provide to move those things forward. So at that time, we had a different set of keywords, but that message pull through was really important to show that we're making impact. Also, share of conversation and the power of the voice. So, and the share of conversation is, were we able to suck the air out of the room for the competitor set? Were we able to dominate in those milestone moments and sort of write the narrative in a unique way and in a leading way compared to those that we were competing with? And then the power of voice, that's a metric that a lot of people throw around. Everybody measures it a little differently. We had our own calculation for it. That was a combination of share of voice, share of conversation, message pull through, and then also value-based metrics when we think about our brand measurement reports to make sure the surveys that we were doing to make sure that people were responding to the messaging, to the positioning in those ways. And that showed sort of the power of the message, power of the campaign that we're putting out there based on a mix of that data. And then making sure it resonates inside the walls of your company. Something that is an undervalued metric, but shouldn't be, is the employee engagement. So when we saw every time we posted on, let's say, LinkedIn or a new video on YouTube, or we had a roundtable event at their headquarters, the employee turnout, engagement, commenting, reposting, all of those things, they sound so small. But when you saw the difference between before this campaign and that work and after, you would think differently of the impact of every single one of those engagements because it increased tenfold. So we knew that we were motivating the people within the walls, which means how could we not be motivating those outside?